You're born in a private compound, not a hospital. A compound. Concrete walls taller than most buildings, armed guards at every gate, cameras that never blink. The day you're born, no announcement is made, no press release, no celebration outside, only coded messages, and a quiet shift in power. Because you are not just a child, you are succession. Your crib isn't near windows. There are no windows. Your nursery is designed like a bunker, soundproof walls, steel-reinforced doors, 2 guards outside, rotating every 4 hours. Your father doesn't hold you often, not because he doesn't care, because vulnerability in your world is a liability. From the moment you open your eyes, men with weapons already know your name. And they will die protecting it. Your childhood doesn't unfold in playgrounds. It unfolds in courtyards surrounded by concrete. You don't see neighbors. You see perimeter patrols. You don't learn about fairy tales. You learn about loyalty, about silence, about consequences. At 6, you understand one rule clearly. Trust is currency, and it is never spent freely. Your father is not loud. He does not shout. He speaks calmly, slowly. And when he finishes speaking, rooms fall silent, not because they admire him, because they fear him. You don't know the full scale of his empire yet, but you see glimpses, maps on tables, routes marked in red, ports circled, border crossings highlighted. You hear words, shipments, territory, negotiations, sanctions, governments mentioned carefully, officials spoken of indirectly. You begin to understand something early. Power does not always wear a suit. Sometimes it wears a shadow. At 9, you are taught discipline differently, not in a classroom. In a secured courtyard, private tutors come to you. Languages, economics, psychology, but also reading people, understanding tension, recognizing betrayal in tone. Because your education isn't academic, it's survival. You notice something else. You are never alone. There is always a driver, a bodyguard, a shadow behind you. Even at birthday dinners, someone stands near the exit, watching. By 11, you overhear your first real conversation. 2 lieutenants speaking in low voices, a region lost, a rival expanding, a shipment intercepted. Your father listens quietly, then says one sentence, and the entire strategy changes. Within hours, phones ring across continents, men move, routes shift, money redirects. You realize something unsettling. This isn't chaos, it's structure. The empire isn't random crime. It's logistics, networks, alliances, financial layers built over decades, shipping fleets disguised as legitimate businesses, investment arms funding infrastructure, front companies holding property worldwide. It is not reckless, it is engineered. At 13, you sit at the far end of a long table, not officially part of the meeting, but present. You watch men twice your age debate strategy. They glance at you differently, not as a child, as a future variable. Your father speaks calmly. A single decision shifts supply routes in 2 regions. Within hours, markets in certain sectors fluctuate, not publicly linked, but connected. There is no applause, only nods. In this room, that level of influence is normal. One evening, your father tells you something quietly. The empire isn't strength, he says, it's responsibility. You don't fully understand yet, but you feel the weight of it. At 15, you travel under different names, private airstrips, unlisted flights, layered security protocols, not because you're reckless, because visibility attracts threats. You are respected, but not neutral. You are protected, but not free. By 18, you understand the fragility of dominance. One betrayal can collapse years of trust. One intercepted message can ignite conflict. One mistake can cost lives. Power at this level is not loud, it is constant pressure. Publicly, your family is invisible. Privately, it is a web across continents, allies in politics, influence in ports, silent agreements with people who never appear on record. You begin to understand scale. If your family slows operations in one region, prices in certain underground markets spike. If they expand, others shrink. You are not inheriting chaos, you are inheriting leverage. But internally, the empire is always defending itself. There is no peace, only balance. Balance between fear and loyalty, between strength and exposure, between dominance and collapse. At 21, you start attending higher-level discussions, crisis simulations, rival expansion scenarios, government crackdowns, internal betrayal drills. You learn how quickly stability can fracture. One leak, one weak link, one wrong alliance, and the structure trembles. Late at night, in rooms overlooking cities powered by legal economies, you ask yourself a question you never voice aloud. Who would you be without this? If your father ran a small shop instead, if your surname didn't carry risk, if failure didn't echo through entire networks, but failure for you is not personal, it's structural. By 24, your father grows quieter. He has survived turf wars, internal fractures, political shifts. Stress leaves marks deeper than wealth can conceal. He studies you differently now, not as a son, as continuity. One evening he says, "Fear built this empire. Discipline sustains it, but responsibility will define you." You finally understand. You were not raised for comfort. You were raised for control. By 25, rooms change when you enter. Not because you demand it, because they anticipate it. Analysts speculate. Rivals observe, allies adjust. The empire does not simply belong to you, you belong to it. You were born into power, but power came with walls. You can command loyalty, but never anonymity. You can influence territories, but never escape expectation. You are the son of the world's most powerful cartel, raised among strategy instead of stories. Protected by men who cannot afford mistakes, surrounded by influence that must never appear on record, yet confined by a legacy built on balance and fear. And the quiet truth is this: when you inherit power at that scale, your life stops being entirely yours. Because in a world shaped by hidden networks, every decision you make will echo beyond your own existence. And walking away is not an option.